Firstly, our four people taking part in our four riders and our boss from SXG Global taking part in part one of our press conference. Firstly, from Rickware Racing, we welcome Joey Savacci, everybody. Thank you for being here. Progressive Motorsports Group, Ken Roczen is with us. Firepower Honda, Dean Wilson is here. And Adam Bailey, as I said, representing SXG Global. Can we kickstart with all of you? I mean, from a rider's point of view, magnificent floor space here at Marvel. It makes for a long kind of supercross track. What are your thoughts, your first impressions?
No, I actually checked the track out yesterday a little bit, had some media stuff to do, and man, it's such a big stadium and a massive floor plan. It's one of the biggest floor plans I think I race on, you know. So yeah, the track looks really good, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. You know, hopefully there's some good passing out there and or passing opportunities, and yeah, but no, it looks good. Looking forward to it. I get to get a full day on it today because I'm racing the Oz Supercross. So, but no, it'll be good. Looking forward to it.
Joey, Ken, some thoughts. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, with Dean, it's a much bigger floor plan than a couple weeks ago. So I'm just excited to kind of be able to spread our wings a little bit per se and kind of get up to speed. Obviously, last year I thought floor plan layout, everything was good. It's definitely more of American style supercross. So yeah, I think it'll be good.
Yeah, I'm with those guys. It's a massive floor plan. I've been looking forward to this race the whole time. I had a great time here last year, and it looks like we have. I haven't quite seen that much yet of the track, like layout wise and stuff, but it looks like some different dirt. But overall, I'm excited actually to see Australian Championship go on today and watch those guys race, and I think that helps us out a little bit too, and get the practice on during the night show. So it's I'm all for it.
Just before I come to Adam on the work that's gone into this, an open question again to the three of you. From what you've observed so far, is there a section that you feel will be the most important to get right? And which is that?
I haven't seen any of it, but I'm going to assume starts are probably going to be pretty important. Probably not as important as a couple weeks ago was, but I think as always, you know, if you can get off the gate and put yourself up front, you avoid, for the most part, you avoid a lot of carnage and chaos. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure the whoops will be important as always, but I would say if you put yourself in position off the gate, I think everything else will kind of hopefully come to you.
Yeah, I think Joey pretty much said it. Hopefully they have some decent sized whoops. Hopefully they're good skimmers. I think that's a good separation, good passing point. Yeah, the Abu Dhabi whoops were actually kind of decent. It funneled back into the one line. So, yeah, obviously the start's going to be important. And they're not the longest races, so it's just important to sprint right away and yeah, try and get away. So that's what makes these races interesting. It can kind of be anyone's race depending on some circumstances. So it makes it interesting.
Adam, can I come to you? How special to host the final event here, a city that's close to your heart, a city that's always supported Supercross. Tell us about things so far.
Yeah, it's amazing. I think, you know, Melbourne and Visit Victoria here, our government partner, have been hugely supportive of us and events. And back when we had the WSX Open here in 2019, you know, we had 35,000 people there on the day. It was the biggest Supercross Australia had seen at the time. To be able to expand now to World Championship and to have these amazing riders competing is just such a huge, you know, honour. And we know that the Melbourne fans love it. We know they love Supercross. There's a lot of Aussies that come from all over the country and internationals that visit too for this weekend. So it's just exciting to be able to, you know, have a culmination of both the Australian Supercross and the World Supercross here this weekend. It's going to be a big one.
Can you tell us a bit about the process so far? I think from nothing as of 9 p.m. Wednesday night to where we are now.
Yeah, people would never sort of, you know the work that goes in behind the scenes, and obviously, you know, our track and operations crew, you know, literally work 24/7. But I mean, planning for this event and to be here really started in 2017. You know, that long ago, to be able to go through the engineering process, to be able to support the car park underneath. There's 3,750 railway sleepers and 4,200 acro props holding the car park up below us so that we can have the equipment on the surface to build the track. There's still limitations. We don't have, you know, heavy dozers and things that you would normally see, you know, on a Supercross track just due to that weight restriction. So, and also the timing, because the turf here is so sensitive. and so expensive, frankly. We have to bring in the dirt at the last possible minute, which means that we literally wait until the sun goes down on the Wednesday night, and that's when the grass gets covered and the dirt starts coming in. So to be able to, it's a 24/7 operation, and it's why the track's still being built as we speak, and it's running on schedule, but it's a very tight schedule.
Well done, it's coming together, it looks terrific. Ken, can we come to you? Good to be back in Melbourne, I guess, and highlights so far. Did I spot on social some surfing?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts. That's why I love coming here. I mean, any of the activities that we do at WSX is always fun leading up to the races, and then especially coming here, going on the helicopter tour, seeing the town or the city from above was amazing. So many cool buildings, and the ocean is right there, and I've had a really good time so far. And WSX, they take care of their athletes, and that makes it a lot more enjoyable than just coming in and just racing. So
You come in second place, just 5 points behind Joey. Can you turn it around and win this WSX championship?
I mean, that's the plan. Obviously, it's just a few points behind, right? Like it's not the end of the world, and it's like what Dean said earlier. It can be anybody's race. The races are really short and intense, so if you don't get off the gate, great. It makes it a lot harder. But yeah, just a few points, and I do have to say though, obviously I lost the points lead in Abu Dhabi, and I was a little bit frustrated. And then a couple of days later, I texted my team manager, and I'm like, you know what? The struggle of that weekend also made it kind of fun, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, I look back and definitely saw the positive and things. And coming here, I'm all positive. I've been feeling really good. Obviously, it's been a lot of travel. But at the same time, I'm ready to race and ready to give it my all and hopefully win back-to-back championships. I don't think I've ever really won a championship back-to-back, so that's for sure my goal.
A lot of talk in the wake of Abu Dhabi about the intensity of the racing, some of the style of the racing. Do you just run your own race this weekend and not worry about what others may or may not do?
Well, there's a fine line. When you're hunting, it's not like you can, I have to strategically plan out the race as I go. So, yeah, it's. I think fitness it's a different type of fitness here because it is so intense and such short racing than just having one main event that's really, really long. So I feel like anybody here of us can smash through all these laps without really getting tired. So again, that makes it a bit tough. And I think my goal is just getting starts. And I've actually been crashing quite a bit lately, which is not really me, even in Paris last weekend. So I just got to eliminate those mistakes and put myself in good positions right away.
We wish you well. Joey, can we turn to you? You lead the FIM World Supercross Championship. That sounds pretty good, right? So what would it mean for you to win this thing? And do you dare to dream about that just yet?
I mean, you never. I've learned my lesson. You don't count the chickens before they hatch. But I mean, yeah, obviously that would be cool. But at the same time, I think if people are placing bets and this is a betting thing, I'm definitely the underdog. So I don't, there's really, for me, there's no pressure to show up and do what I can do. And where we end up is where we end up. Obviously, like I said, I'd love to win. It would be awesome. And that is the goal. 5 points isn't enough. Obviously, if it was just a on the night point payout, and 3 points was first to second, et cetera, then I'd be a little bit more confident, but they pay Super Bowl, they pay per moto, and then I think there's a bonus point for fastest lap in the last race or something. So there's a lot of points to be made. By no means am I in the driver's seat. But like I said, yeah, sure, I would love to go win, and that is the goal. But again, I would say I am more of the underdog, and Ken's the favorite. So, and rightfully so. But like I said, I'm just going to show up and do the best that I can do, and where it ends up is where it ends up.
Based on that approach.
Did you say they pay for Super Bowl points?
I think they pay a point. Yeah.
They do?
For fastest Super Bowl, yeah.
I
And
think
then
so.
they pay a point for fastest lap time?
I found this out.
Why am I
man.
just finding this out now?
Yeah, poor communication, I guess.
Didn't know any of
Yeah,
this.
poor communication, I guess.
Helpful.
Just hearing you say that a moment ago, that you feel like you're
Max, you
the
probably
underdog,
knew
right?
this.
And hearing what Ken is going to bring perhaps to the table here. Do you think about your rival and what he's like, or do you just literally run your own race?
No, I mean, what's there to say? The guy's really good. He's very talented. He's very comfortable right now on his motorcycle. There's not a lot to take away from that. Obviously, I don't think it's going to be far-fetched to try to beat Ken just straight up on speed. I think I'm very aware of that. I try to keep my expectations real, and I mean, like I said, get good starts. It can be anything can happen. I think we saw last year, with Ken getting a flat, and then the third moto shenanigans. Again, anything is possible, which is why my goal is 3 good starts, try to stay out of that chaos, and just do what I can do. And if we're good enough to keep the 5 points, then it'll be a good night. And if not, it's not from a lack of effort.
We talked about the on-track beef before. Does that, are you anticipating that will continue? Is it a clean slate here? What do you think?
I don't know, but maybe from the fan perspective, hopefully people are still, or some riders are still a little fired up. I think it'll make for a good show. Like I said, for me, knowing that the chances of me beating Ken straight up on speed is not in my favor, I think let the carnage, let it carry on. I'm here for it.
Can we keep that flavour going, Dean? Does it linger after Abu Dhabi for you? Are you just like eyes forward? What are your thoughts on it?
No, I'm pretty. This weekend I'm just it's like another race for me. No, have no hard feelings or nothing. So I'm excited for it. It'll be good.
You're obviously in career best form at the moment. So, but you have a double header on your hands this weekend. How do you approach that? The pros and cons of that, and so on.
Yeah, I mean, just gonna have to try to conserve my energy the best I can, and just be smart. And that's it really. I think I'll be all right though. I think it is a lot of racing, but we'll be fine.
What's it going to take to win on Saturday night?
What's it gonna take to win? Good starts for sure. Obviously, like Joey said, to match Kenny's speed is gonna be tough. But I've been watching a lot of Vince Freeze racing, and I'm just joking. Might throw you a couple brake checks, just keep your head on a swivel. But just going to race forward and, do the best I can. And, whatever happens, happens. But, let's hope, it creates good racing, and we'll see how it goes.
Well done. Can we have some questions from the floor, please? If you would like to, just raise your hand and let's ask the riders a question. Please.
Can I yell out? Yeah. Sweet. Kenny, you talked about all the travel you've done lately, and you're feeling a bit fatigued at Paris last weekend. How are you feeling now here in Australia? Like, are you sort of on top of it, or are you still sort of struggling with a little bit of fatigue?
No, I feel actually a lot better here now than I have. Well, I want to believe so than I have in the last couple of weekends. It's I haven't really found a rhyme or reason how things work. Like, with the jet lag side of things, because when I went back home from Abu Dhabi, I felt not that great at Abu Dhabi. Came home, slept a lot on the plane, the whole nine, and then I had an insane week where I just felt like superhuman almost. I'm like, what's going on, And then going to Paris, and I just think, flying takes it out of you, and I wasn't really getting on a schedule. I didn't go to sleep before 3 o'clock in the morning in Paris, and then obviously Paris is a lot of racing too. It's no joke. Having said that, though, for whatever reason, the first night is still, like, I felt better the second night after a lot of racing and going to bed late than I did the first night. It's just weird how that works sometimes, right? And then I flew straight here from there, and it's a lot of stress overall, but that's what I signed up for. And every weekend I try to learn and try to do maybe something a little bit different, how I can get on a better sleep schedule and whatnot. So for right now, I feel like I've been feeling solid so far. I don't think my body necessarily knows what time zone I'm on, but that may be a good thing.
Alex Gobert, MotorOnline.com. For Kenny, you have a multi-year commitment to continue with WSX in this championship. This year we've seen, a reduction in rounds. But as a rider and somebody in your position with your experience, what is it you would like to see the series kind of, I guess, what direction, what would you like to see for next year? And, in particular next year, but then beyond that as well, as they build?
I mean, ultimately, I just think more racing, just like how we've planned, but I also understand that there are always hurdles to come over, right? And I want to see more racing simply because I enjoy this so much, even though it comes with a lot of stress and the travel and all of that. But as a whole, racing and then leading up to the races and just, I guess I just enjoy the whole stress. I feel like my body functions best being under stress. And so I just, in the end, I just really want to see more racing, more countries, and hopefully maybe go back to Europe as well. Like, it was a little bit of a bummer that the German round wasn't happening because I got a lot of feedback I had a lot of people coming in general, and it's very centralized in Europe, so it's very easy to access for Europe and all the countries coming. So I just ultimately hope for more racing and more of this stuff because I've been really enjoying this, and so more racing would be great.
And a quick one for Dean Wilson. Do you see it as any advantage of sorts to be able to race the Australian Championship tonight and get a full night of competition before you go into the World Championship tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, I think it could be a little bit of an advantage for sure, but the boys also get to ride today. So, they're going to be watching me as well, I'm sure. So they'll kind of see the lay of the land and the lines and this and that. So I don't know if it's going to be a huge advantage, but it kind of, works both ways. It's a lot more energy for me, but I don't know. I could probably use that as an advantage, I guess, as the laps tick on, maybe just finding some little lines here and there. But these guys are pretty sharp and catch on to things quick. So, yeah, I don't know.
Next to online.com for Joey. A year ago, coming into this round, there would have been some nerves, obviously, from the year before with the crash. It's sort of a full circle moment now for you and to potentially win a championship tomorrow night. Is it a bit more calmer for you walking into that stadium now?
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously last year was good, but yeah, I mean, thinking about it like that, it would be really cool to be able to win and have it be here, given the circumstances. I think it would be a really cool moment, full circle type deal. But yeah, I mean, I think last year was bad, but yeah, it's a lot easier this year, a lot more calming, and just like I said, it's something that happened, but the fact that I came back last year and was able to get over that, I think we're good.
Cool. And for Adam Bailey, a couple months now passed since the announcement of your investment group management with SX Global. They've been able to see what you've done at Abu Dhabi. How's that been for them to be able to be on the ground there, see it in front of their eyes, and then contribution of how it may look different with them next year?
It's been awesome. I mean, so Kirill and Juan came to Abu Dhabi as with the whole board, and they were blown away. They'd never been to a Supercross before. The crowd reaction was insane. For people that were there, whilst it was a smaller venue than what traditionally Supercross is, we had 7,000 people there that had never seen anything like it before. I mean, they were yelling and screaming from the first sighting lap, which was just like awesome, because we didn't know what we're in for, and they didn't know either. We didn't know that they're going to love it or not, or if 500 people were going to come, or it's a part of the world that genuinely has never seen Supercross before. So for them to see that reaction, I think was a huge shot of confidence in what they've invested in and in what this product can do, and that's what they clearly said. They just said they walked away seeing the huge potential that Supercross has around the world, and if we can convert new fans in the Middle East, in a place that has never had any sort of culture around motocross or Supercross, really, very small, it was really promising. They went to the Paris event too, which I think was great, because I went there and could see, it's an amazing event that's been around for 40 years. They can see the differences of what they do to what we do. I mean, and the first WSX Open was built on the Paris event, frankly. So the combination of entertainment and racing is something that they do very well, and we pride ourselves on too. So then coming to this one, and Kirill's here this weekend, he walked into the stadium and was just blown away, because he'd been to the Abu Dhabi venue and he was blown away there. And, to him, it was that, to them, like I said, they'd never seen anything like it. So to come into Marvel Stadium and see a stadium of this scale with a track this size, they're really, really energised by the potential. They, in their words, again, they come from a football background and, not Supercross at all, and they just see this as a huge opportunity for what could be a mainstream sport, because they feel that it's underserved. It's huge in the US, obviously, massive, incredible championship there in 17 weekends in the same country, and they're thinking, there's billions of people that don't get the opportunity to see this in person, and for everyone that does, they always love it. I mean, we've had every time we introduce a new person, and I think everyone in this room is a hardcore fan somewhat. But when you introduce a new person, no matter what age, they're always blown away. And they had those people with them at, lawyers and accountants and 50, 60, 70-year-old people, and they were blown away. So I think that, the word is energised, that they're here this weekend, excited for what the future could be.
We might call it at that, and if you want to do some one-on-ones a little bit later, you can. To Adam, Ken, Joey, and Dean, thank you very much. Have a terrific weekend, and here's to a great event.
Thank you.